You won't believe what loot we got from Hakar at the end of this raid, and you won't believe that we can solo Zul Gurub. We can do this entire raid single-handedly with one player at level 80. And this is quite an easy raid to do. Soloing Zul Gurub at level 80. Can you even believe that? Anyways, we're going to be going through this raid super quickly. I've done time skips, speed ups, edited the videos to the raid. This originally was like a 40-minute video. I cut it down to about 20 minutes, so hopefully you guys stick with me throughout the entire time. I'm going to be showing each boss with times 1 speed, as you can see on the video. However, uh, every time I'm moving through trash or moving around the dungeon or waiting for cooldowns, I'm skipping out waiting for cooldowns entirely, so you'll see time jumps. I'm doing times 3 move footage speed on trash movement, so you can see as we're moving through the dungeon through the raid. So hopefully you guys enjoy the raid and you guys can absolutely have a blast. So this is the first boss, Jindo. We're gonna get into him. So to begin with Jindo, it is quite an easy battle to solo as long as you have some sort of sustain. I've tried killing Jindo without sustain and he does a respectable amount of damage. So if you're like a Fury Warrior and you have no self regeneration, it could be really bad. Also, if you're gonna be going into this dungeon, you might want some resilience. Like I have on this gear setup, I have mostly DPS gear with like 550 resilience, which is the cheapest and easiest form of defense rating essentially because it reduces the ability for you to be crit in PvE scenarios. Like all the other effects don't matter because the chance for you to be crit is really the only important one when it comes to PvE. So I like to level up with resilience sometimes along with like defense rating because they stack together evenly to give you like a really respectable tankiness. So that was Jindo. If you're playing with a group, this dungeon or this raid can be a lot more difficult, to be honest. Like having two, three, 4 people, it can be really hard because there are mind control mechanics. Jindo will teleport you to the pit and whatnot. But here, Jindo does not teleport you to the pit because you're solo, and thus you could just go through and kill him. Just single like soloing him, no problem. Just 1v1. He won't teleport you or call other ads or whatnot. So it's really easy. This boss is actually even easier than Jindo. This is the easiest boss in the raid. It's like a small ads fight with the priest turning into like a tiger. So here you can see she turns into a tiger right here. She's just like she's got like 200k health, whereas Jindo has like 500k. So even like anyone, pretty much any level 80 should be able to take this boss out, no problem, regardless of the fact that you might be like lacking sustain or whatnot. Like you can easily take this boss out. But yeah, here we got the priestess. We're killing all the ads and the trash that we pulled with her. Once we kill enough of the ads, she'll come back. So as you can see right there, we kill her. Now, I want to point out one of the biggest and most important issues in terms of like why you're doing Zul'Gurub and why you should do Zul'Gurub. You'll see in chat in roughly 20 seconds the gold that I take from this boss, and I believe it's like 37 gold per boss that each of these bosses give. They give a respectable amount of gold. Yeah, right there, 36 gold, 42 silver, and each boss is giving them that. Now you've seen how easy it was to kill this boss, how easy it was to mop through her. There's also mounts like special like the Zul'Gurub tiger mount that you can get, the raptor mount, and I would argue the mounts here are really cool. So, mounts, gold, the items for good transmogs. I'm not gonna lie, some of the items here have really sick transmogs. And then, last but not least, I can sell all the items that I get here and make more than just the 36 gold off of the bosses because if I'm dropping items that are worth like 8, 9, 10 gold, then I can get 50, 60 gold a boss. If I get really lucky, I mean, most bosses are not going to give you that much. You're probably going to get like a 1.2 gold, 1.8 gold item. But if you get weapons and whatnot, and you get a lucky run, you can get some serious gold from Zul Gurub. The runs take like half an hour at most, like in decent gear. If you're playing with weaker gear, it might take 40 minutes. I think I'm speeding up right here. Yeah, so I'm speeding up. I was speeding up right there, me waiting because I was waiting for some cooldowns. And as you can see, all my cooldowns proc at the same time, so I could summon my gargoyle and like Army of the Dead and whatnot just to make sure I'm like all set. You don't want to engage these bosses and treat them like trash because like the tiger boss right here, this boss right here is like semi difficult. If you don't interrupt the heals, it can be problematic. If you don't kill all three at the same time, they'll just keep reviving each other or resurrecting each other. Um yeah, what's the other one? The raptor boss coming up after this is also very difficult if you are not prepared. I would argue that this raid is very difficult on other classes besides Death Knights because the bosses themselves can be really tough. They can do a lot of damage. The Death Knight boss, the Blood Knight, Blood Death Knight, whatever. The Raptor boss, he can pierce your armor and stack it up to the point where he just continuously like removes your armor, and like the fact that all the bosses are still able to crit you. Like right here, you see that he has a skull. So since a boss has a skull, that means that they're still 3 levels above the highest player in the raid. And thus, I'm level 80, this boss is level 83. So he can still crit me. I still need to worry about him killing me. That's why I stack up resilience and fight him. If he was level 62 or 60, then I could easily like take care of him, no problem. Not worry about getting crit. I could just go all damage and easily beat him, but that's not the way it works. So yeah, uh, I just keep spamming Death Strike. I don't want to lower my health at all. I don't want to risk dying. So that's the Tiger boss. No mount, sadly. Um, yeah. So here you can see I'm speeding up the video by ×3 speed rates. I don't know what I was waiting for there. Yep. We're gonna rush past this boss. We're not doing the boss up that staircase because we don't have like the magical pixie dust or whatever the alchemy thing is. We wait for these mobs because they have like 50,000 health. Because the mobs have 50,000 health, that's actually a lot of health. Like even if you can do the damage, like no level 80 is ever gonna have more than like 10k DPS. So even with my Fury Warrior from Ice Crown that can do like 20k DPS and do it all burst, like that mob is still gonna take a solid like 5 seconds to kill. Like good like 3 to 5 seconds, and then you have to dismount, remount. It takes like 10 to 15 seconds, whereas just letting him walk by is quicker. Each of the trash mobs you have to loot, they drop coins and all this Garabashi stuff. It's so irritating. I did a, I think I did a time skip here, so we can, yeah. So there you see a time skip. I'm doing buffs now to prepare for this boss. You really want to prepare your best for this boss. I use a flask. I use King Blessing of Kings, bless like the drums of the kings, Mark of the Wild, priest scrolls. I get fish food buff. I go crazy on this. Just absolutely ham because this is the hardest boss in the entire raid, in my opinion, at least when you're soloing it. He has a whirlwind ability. His pet does damage. He does damage. When his pet dies, he gains berserk or something. Absolute monster. Yeah, Bloodlord. What's this guy's name? Bloodlord Minkodik. I can't even read that. While I'm editing this, the video itself is kind of terrible quality. So hopefully you guys can see like 1080p on YouTube, whereas I'm like watching something that looks like it's like 240p. It's just absolutely terrible. Um, no, but yeah, you want to take this boss slowly, try to keep your life up as much as possible. I think I use all my cooldowns here. I get scared. Kite out the whirlwind. When he does whirlwind, you want to run away and then go back on the boss, so the whirlwind doesn't proc on you over and over. That whirlwind does massive damage. It took me a minute to like figure that out when I used to solo this, and even when I was thinking it, I was like, I could take it, no problem. No, you are level 80, but you are not a god. Do not just DPS the guy through whirlwind. You see right there, it does damage. It does decent damage, and it will do more damage as the fight goes on. And I mean, my character has Shadowmourne, right? My character has Shadowmourne, has some of the best gear in the game. I am playing as good as humanly possible. None of my skills, GCD is always on cooldown. None of my abilities are being wasted. So, yeah, you can see my health is still going about 20% health even with like all the PvP gear that I took. I'm not getting critted because I have resilience stopping me from taking crits. I'm fully buffed up essentially. I have like 43k health or something. And even then I'm taking a solid like 18k damage. If your life is not high enough, if you don't have enough sustain, you really won't be able to take out this guy. But yeah, I just spammed the sustain on this guy while I DPS him, and we were able to get through him. Really solid. I did not get the mount again. I still have not gotten a mount to this day. It's very sad. Dude never drops that mount. It's like so lucky. I guarantee you though, like 3 people in the comment section, I got the mount on my first try. So, anyways, you lucky bastards in the comment section, I'm jealous of you. Thank you very much. But me personally, I've always had terrible luck when it comes to like getting the good stuff. But yeah, we speed past all the trash and we move on to the next one. I'm not sure if yeah. So this one is the spider that is going to be using a stun. This one's very basic. She's not very hard to deal with, but she does have a stun. She summons these little ads. She has a lot of like interrupts and whatnot, and it's hard to get your damage off. So this can be a difficult fight if you're really low geared. But yeah, right there, 4 second stun with the poison. Just really annoying. Takes forever, but you can get through it quite easily. However, I will argue the next boss is a very massive pain and very difficult for low geared players, and especially like characters without an interrupt. So we'll get into that once we get to the boss. But Mar2 is quite easy to be honest. And then when she transforms into a spider, she becomes even easier because she stops using the stun ability. Oh, the web wrap cocoon BS is kind of annoying. It's also another stun. So yeah, there's just 50 million stuns on this. Just try to kill her as fast as possible so you don't have to waste too much time. But yeah, like there's a lot of downtime on your damage because you're just sitting there like, come on, stop stunning me. Oh my god. Uh, but yeah, I mean this fight is quite easy and it's enjoyable. We loot her and let's see what we get. So we get 34 gold and a decent number of items. Each of these are worth a bit of gold, so I believe that boss kill was worth like 45 gold, give or take. Yeah, as you can see, I have a guild on the server on Lordaeron. If you're playing on Lordaeron, you can just message me, Leonite Ass, and I will gladly welcome you into the guild. We're looking to get some raiders together and get going. I think I skipped forward a bit. Yeah, cleared out my inventory, sped through this, and then we pull the next boss. This guy's a chump. This guy is so easy. Like I don't even remember this guy exists half the time. Sometimes I've even skipped this boss and then had to come back to him because he is not notable. It's just a 200k health like meat shield. Kill him, get some gold, move on. I mean, I do like the fact that this guy exists though, because having a really easy boss to just chop down, like you just do 200k damage, you get 40 gold. Like who wouldn't want to do that? I would just be sitting here spamming bosses like this over and over and over if I could to make my money. But yeah, really easy boss. You kill him, bam, 40 gold right there. Give or take like 38 or so. After you sell the items, it's like 40. Um, yeah, we're gonna be selling and moving through the thing, clear out the trash. I speed this up at times 3. I want to take some time to discuss a few things on this boss in a moment. All right, hey guys. So while we're speeding through this and moving towards the next boss, did you know that if you hit that like button, it will help me out tremendously with the algorithm, and it will get this video more exposure. If you don't like the video, that is also acceptable to hit the dislike button. So hitting like or dislike is totally fine. Let me know what you think of the video by hitting like or dislike. Both of them count as a reaction and will help my video out tremendously. So thank you. And then subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet and you like my content. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, this is the boss that I wanted to talk about. This one is very difficult for paladins. If you're soloing this as a paladin, very difficult. You see right there, that is a silence, I believe. So you cannot use your abilities for 9 seconds. The terrifying screech sometimes will fear you, so you'll notice you get feared. I'll get feared in this video, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, she has like a 10-second silence, and then she could fear you while she casts like a full health heal. And so it's not so much that she does a million damage and it's too difficult to get through, but she will just keep healing herself. The heal costs no mana essentially, and so if you can't interrupt the heal, you're gonna be pretty much screwed. Yeah, right here, Mind Flay, you get feared, you can't fight her, and then at the end of Mind Flay, she'll try to heal herself. She tries to do this really low health, I believe, but right here, she should be casting a heal. She's probably gonna do it after this Mind Flay. Yeah, I interrupt that Mind Flay, and then she goes to try to heal herself, I believe. Yeah, right there. That's the heal. I don't let it go off. So this was a really clean fight from me to finish her. However, if you are not able to interrupt that heal, it will heal her almost to full health. And doing like 400k health can be quite a troublesome task. And if you have to repeat it multiple times over and over and over, um, like it could just be exhausting. I've had times where I came in with a more or less subpar geared paladin. So I would come in with a subpar geared paladin to try to just get some milk it. You have like 5 level 80s. You come in with the best character right here, and you're just kicking butt. Right, I'm on my Shadowmourne Death Knight. Kill it. Bam, easy. Everything's super easy. You come in with your weaker character, and then all of a sudden, these fights that should take like 20 minutes, you're like, oh, it'll only take like 22 minutes because I got a little bit weaker gear. Well, all these mechanics that you normally would just skip or not deal with suddenly become a problem. So instead of doing 400k damage to that boss, you would think, oh, I only need to do 600, 700k. She'll get a heal off or something. No, she got like 18 heals off. I had to do like 5.6 million damage. It took me like 30 minutes just to kill that boss alone. Just saying, be prepared in the future when you go to do that boss. It's such a pain. Hakar, I'm not gonna lie, I love this boss. He's one of the coolest bosses in the game to me. Final boss of the raid. Look at his design. He has like a soul stone in the middle of his body. Looks a little bit like a cheesy Diablo. He's from like 2004, so early World of Warcraft boss. Final boss of this raid. He does not mind control you if you're solo, if you're alone, because there's nobody else in the raid for you to attack. So there's no point for him to mind control you. So yeah, Hakar will not mind control if there's multiple people, and you just fight him one on one. He does this little blood drain eventually that will stun you, and you just have to deal with it. Yeah, right here, 8 second blood drain. It's more or less it doesn't do any damage, but it's a pain in the neck and it's annoying. And then he has like a million other mechanics that are up if you don't kill the other bosses, which is why we kill all the other bosses instead of just skipping to Hakar. He is the most rewarding as well, so if you can go ahead and kill all the other bosses, it's probably best to do that. Make sure that you're killing all the bosses except for the like Raptor Mount boss, the Blood Knight one. He does not matter, and then also the fish boss does not really matter. So that's going to be the end of the video, I think. Here's a car. He's being finished up. I'm going to uh, get into the outro. All right, everybody. So, if you like that video so far and you want to see more content like this, let me know. I want to hear your comments below. Very much so can help me out if you just give me your thoughts and feedback. I want to know what your ideas are, and if you post them in the comments, I'll try to make a video specifically tailored for you. Like the video and subscribe. Bye bye.